Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have updated our title, right? So now in this video, I want to solve one of the issue. Not that solve, I want to update one of the issue. Like if you go to our menu, into this menu, if you click as a details, into the details, it should be get that images, the name, the description, price, level, and then category, right? And also they have some of the comment. So how I load this comment? Before, if you go to our file, the file right now, I close everything. Okay, I close everything, then that will be easy to you. Like that is our menu. So into this menu, before I get that all the dishes, right? I get this all the dishes from to the one of the file as a dishes.js, right? If you go to that data, and that is all that our data, right? So into this data area, that is one of the ID, and this ID related all that comments, right? So here I did simply display these comments. If you go to our menu item, I have already loaded these dishes, and then I pass everything in our dish details page. You can see there is a dish details page, and if you go to the dish and then details, and into this dish details, here we loaded all that our comment, right? So here we successfully loaded this comment. So now if you want to get this data from our two of this table, okay, just simply understand how that functionality will be work. Like before I get all the data from our specific one file, right? So that is one of the object data. So that is one of the object data as a dishes, right? So in database, just like that, that is one of that, it should be counts one table, that comments will be counts from the another table. Then how can deal two of this table? Okay, in this video I will show you. For doing this, I want to do, if you go to your exercise folder, into this exercise folder, before I get everything from one page, right? Everything in our dishes as a all that our product details, and then the comments. So I separated both of these. If you go to your exercise folder, if you go to that React source, and if you go to the data, so before I loaded from to the data as a dishes.js, right? So now I segment both of these, all that our dishes data will be into the dishes.js, and all that comment data will be into our comment.js. So better I copy both of these, and now go to our project. So into this project, if you go to our data, okay, so that is our previous data. So now I want to do to delete it, and then I want to do to paste both of these data in here as a comment.js and then dishes. So now if you go, right now I remove this file, okay, I make it as a don't save. And now if you go to the data, into this data area, there is a two file. You can see there is a dishes data. I save it in here. There is a 0 ID, there is a 1 ID, and there is a 2 ID, and then the 3 ID. Okay, and also there is a comments, and you can see into this comments I have already get one of the ID as a dishes ID. So this dishes ID will be matched, this dishes ID will be matched with our dish table, that is the ID. So there is a 0 ID, and into the dishes ID as a 0 ID. So 0 ID related all that comment will be loaded in here. You can see there is another dishes ID as a 1. So we have to create one of the relationship. This dish ID will be matched with our dish table, this ID. Okay, so now how can deal both of this? I show you. Like in our menu, first time our file name is the same, dishes. So here we don't need to do anything. Also we have to input our another file that will be as a comments. Okay, I make it as a comments. So that is our comments.js, and also here our object name I name it as a comments. Okay, so I simply name it, that will be as a comments. Great. So our dishes data, I take it with the dishes, and then comments data, I take it with the comments. You can see I have already declared one of the state property as a dishes, and then the dishes. So now I want to declare another property, and I just name this property as a comments. Okay, comments property, and then into this comments property I want to load all that our comments data. Okay, I simply loaded this comments data. Now we have to create that relation. We have to create this relation in our details page, that is our dish details, right? So here I want to put one of the condition. Okay, I want to put one of the simple condition, because here we have to match both of these data. So I take one of the variable as a constant variable. So that is a constant variable. I just name it as comments. Okay, I name it as a comments. What are the name actually choose? So now I want to do, we have to filter it, right? With the filter condition, we can actually get all that our ID data. That means our dish table ID that will be matched with our comments table, this dish ID. right? So here I want to use it as a this, and then state. Into the state area, I have already loaded one of the property as a comments property, right? So with this comments property, I want to add that as a filter. So that will be the filter method. Okay, so I simply loaded our filter method, and with this filter method, I name this as a comment. Okay, I name it as a comment, and then I want to load one of the array function. So I simply loaded this array function. So into this array function area, right now I want to pass both of this. Okay, so now with this ID, that means with this comment, I want to access our comment table, this field as a dish ID, right? So for the reasons I want to do, I simply load one of the conditions. So here I want to return it. So that will be the return, and return will be which one? That means when our comment, so that is our comment. With this comment, I want to access our comment table field name as a dish ID. So here I simply loaded that dish ID, and when this dish ID will be equal our this is state. Okay, that means is state, and into this is states area I have already get all that our selected dish data, right? So that is our selected dish. So with this selected dish, we can able to access our this dish table, this ID. So I want to access it, so that there will be as a select dish. So I simply loaded that select dish in here. There is a state, one of the property, or property name as a select dish ID. I hope friend it's very much clear to you what exactly the things I have done in here. So I returned that our comment. So that is our comment when our comment table ID will be equal our state table dish table, that is our ID. Okay, that means our comment table dish ID will be match our this dishes table ID. So here I simply return this value. So this return value, I take it with this variable as a comments, right? So now these comments I want to do and to pass it in our this dish detail space, right? So here if you have to pass it after this, okay, after this I take another variable. So I only want to do and to pass this value as a comments. Okay, name it as a comments, and comments will be our which part, that will be our this comments. Okay, because when both of this will be matched, so this both of this match data I take it with this variable. Now with this one of the property as a comments, here I pass this our variable. Okay friends, so right now we are able to access it in our dish detail space. So if you go to our dish details, that is our dish details, and into this dish details, before I use it with the props and then the dish, right, and then the comments. So right now I pass that same name. You can say I pass that same name as a comment. So now we don't need to use any dish. So here with these props, we are directly able to access this dish. So right now we don't need this. I simply remove it. Okay, I simply remove this dish. Great. I hope friend it's very much clear to you, because here I have already get all that are props data. So from our menu, I pass that props data as a comments, and that is our dish detail space. So into this dish detail space, our dish comment will be loaded, right? There is a comment component as a dish comment component. Here I simply pass this. Great. So friend, that's all. Our rest of this will be same. Now if you click on the save all, let's check this out. Our everything is working or not. Click on the save, refresh. Page is loaded. Now click it. Yes, you can see it's not perfectly loaded. Everything is great. And if you go the barbecue and this one of the product, this product related, all that comment is loaded. So right now that is two different table. It comes from one table, and also our all that comments actually comes from our another table, right? Great. So here there is a French fry. That is also great. Okay. I hope friend it's very much clear to you how can manage both of this table, how can create that relationship. So here with this filter, I create that relation. Now we get match all the data. Okay, where we search it with one data to our another database table data. Here we create another relationship, take that things with this variable, and then simply in our dish detail space I pass it with this props. Great. Okay, so here it's now successfully working. I hope you like it very much. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.